My name is Jorge and I'm a wrestler.
Hi, my name is Mateo and I am a wrestler. So wrestling for me, apart from being a beautiful sport, is a representation of greatness, of transcending as a human being, like developing yourself mentally, physically, and compete like against yourself more than against other person, and get to understand yourself, your movements, and like develop the sport. And I'm relatively new on it, but I completely fell in love with it.
For me, wrestling is a way to get my energy out and express myself at the same time, because I think human bodies were meant to compete against each other. And I feel like wrestling speaks to a very important aspect of that, because we created games to do that for so long. Football, basketball, right? But so many cultures have discovered wrestling that I think it just speaks to something deeper within us, our need to compete.
How did you start liking wrestling?
So, my favorite fighter is Khalid, and he practices the discipline of Sambo, which is a combination of wrestling and grappling with also striking. And in my university, there was only a wrestling team, so I got part of it, and I really liked it a lot. The community was really safe. So I just get deeply involved in it, and I'm just being disciplined and practicing every day.
Well, I did grappling a whole lot. I did jiu-jitsu since I was 12, and I've done that for so long. And then that when I got to college, I decided to try out for the wrestling team because I think a lot of the skills carry over. And I thought I was a fast learner, so the difference could kind of be something that you embraced easily. I was wrong about the difference being not that big. It's a very big difference, but I fell in love with it. I put my nose down and I started working. If I would say like, jiu-jitsu is kind of like flowing, learning how to grapple by flowing and letting things kind of, knowing when to relax your muscles and knowing when to take advantage of certain situations. And then wrestling is like crashing. It's like knowing when to put your nose down, it's knowing when to dig in and be aggressive, right? And to resist against something rather than letting it pass by. And I feel like those two combined is going to be really good for anybody who's going to grappling. Our muscles aren't meant to work in isolation, they're meant to work together, right? And you can't work in isolation in wrestling, right? You have to use your whole body. If I were to introduce wrestling to somebody, I think I look at what the ideas they've already crafted about wrestling or fighting in general, right? Either from like the media or from like imaginations, right? TV shows or comics, right? Because the imagination that gives you, right? Like the stories and the epic battles that people have and all that, right? I think at its core, I think that's what wrestling is, and I try to conflate the two, right? Because someone who has that imagination with these kinds of media, I would try to say, okay, well, I think this is where that comes from, right? So let me show you how you can integrate that with your own body instead of making it external and illusory. It brings imagination into something tactile, and I think that will attract a lot of people.